And Rachel is going to give us a deep dive on the Prince has.
Prince has, or
H.
Or Harold.
Isn't his name not even Harold?
Correct. It's Henry, I believe.
Yeah.
So who's Harold?
Harry is a nickname for
Henry.
For Henry.
Right.
And then Harold is just like a silly nickname for Harry.
When they're in a silly, goofy mood.
Which is
mood.
never.
So, yeah, give us the deep dive, Rachel.
So, there have been a lot that has come out about this book. Almost too much.
The fact that somebody got it in Spanish and was having it, that's how all the excerpts first came out. It was translations from the only copy that came out, which was in Espanol.
Yes. So there's been a lot of stuff, and whether or not we get to all of it is...
I don't think we will.
We won't.
Yeah.
So just for the record, we will not get to all of the things because there's simply too much. But as Margaret Hartman of New York Mag said in a recent article that she published, she said, fully escaping, quote, the royal family, even when you're just an American watching from your couch, is nearly impossible. Mm-hmm. I feel the same way. Mm-hmm. Like, I feel like even as obsessed as I am with Meghan, with Harry, with Kate and Wills, with Harry Styles, all of these jokers, I named Harry Styles like he was a royal.
I'm sorry, did I miss something?
I meant to say the queen.
I mean, in some circles. Wow.
Are you okay?
No, I'm
confident.
Not. The confidence.
William, Kate, Harry Styles,
Niall, Zayn, Liam, Louis,
Lizzo,
H, Chicken Shop Date.
It's like those are all royals to me. So what we know that's been covered in the book. So I'm going to take us through a little bit about what we know from the book so far. And it comes out tomorrow. Mm-hmm. And I cannot wait to get my
pre-ordered that copy. I pre-ordered that baby so fast.
I know. I cannot
My spare
wait.
is in the mail, baby.
I cannot wait. What we know about the book, I'll do a little bit there. And then we'll talk a bit about the 60 Minutes interview and a little of extra clips that came out about it. So what do we know? It was ghostwritten, obviously.
And that ghost was sassy.
The ghost was very sassy. J.R. Moringer, we don't know much about the ghostwriter. We don't know much about the writing process because little about it has been publicly revealed. But what we also know is that a lot of it is about early trauma for Harry. So a lot of it is about when his mother died and what that trauma actually did for him throughout the rest of his life. And he says that it really altered the course of his life, as it should have.
Yeah, totally.
What we also know is that Prince William attacked Harry, okay? This was one of the biggest things that dropped over the weekend. When people found out about it, I'm going to read you a quote from the book, okay? He says in the book, quote, "He grabbed me by the collar, ripping my necklace, and he knocked me to the floor. I landed on the dog's bowl, which cracked under my back, the pieces cutting into me. I lay there for a moment, dazed, then got to my feet and told him to get out. Then," this is me talking, Rachel. Why are you laughing?
Because there are too many embarrassing details in the story.
It's too much. So then William tells him later on, "I didn't attack you, Harry." Okay. And he also told him, "You don't need to tell Meg about this."
You don't need to?
Yes. And Harry says for a while he only told his therapist, but eventually he did tell Meghan, and she was not upset, but she was very sad for him. And so that we're getting into the relationship with him and his brother, where Harry's sort of describing, like, this is something that is not Meghan related.
No.
He's a bully to him.
Yeah.
William is a bully. He also mentions, which to me is like what any older sibling would do, but after going through so much,
push you to the
no,
ground.
No,
You're
I'm
saying
gonna
I would push you
no,
to the
no,
ground,
no.
rip your necklace, break your dog's bowl, and then say, "Shannon doesn't need to know about this."
I was preambling about another experience.
Okay.
I'm saying In school, at one point they were in school together, and William told Harry, "Act like we don't know each other." Okay?
Holy crap!
But
Which is
any
why
older sibling has done that. Older relatives do that where they're like, "I'm cool. I'm too cool. You're a freshman. I'm a senior. Don't talk to me."
But then it's like anyone who lives in the city limits of London would be like, that's your brother.
Your brother. Yeah.
The other prince here, I'm pretty sure is related to you.
Even as fraught as the relationship was, one of the biggest things with Harry that happened in his tenure of being a celebrity was him dressing up in costume as a Nazi in 2005.
Which is so recent.
It's so recent. It feels like yesterday. Like, I can remember when that came out. It's crazy. But what we find out in the book is that William and Kate told him that it was okay, and they gave him the go-ahead. He had 2 different costumes, and this was for a party, the Native and Colonial party that they were going to.
Okay.
He had the option to dress up. He was going to dress up as a pilot or a Nazi, and he phoned Willie, which is what he calls him. He phoned Willie and Kate and asked what they thought, and they both agreed the Nazi uniform.
So they've never liked him.
And the premise of the party was jacked from
the beginning. From the beginning. What this intro to me, though, too, is that Kate has always been part of the narrative for him as well.
Yes.
And one of the things that we learned from the book, he sort of, and this book, it's telling of his life, but he also dips into telling some of the background experiences that happened with Meghan Markle and Kate and William, etc. And one of those experiences that he dives deep into is that at one point, Kate and William thought that Meghan was too familiar with them. And one of the, and again, these are sister-in-law, brother-in-law relationships. We are very close with our partners, people, we're just so intertwined. So thinking that someone could be mad at you for being too familiar with the family member is crazy. But one of the experiences was when Meghan wanted to borrow Kate's lip gloss.
It's so silly.
At a joint appearance they were doing, Kate got mad at her. She gave it to her, but was mad at her.
Why would you get mad at something
Another
like that?
one was that when Kate was pregnant, Meghan told her, "Oh, ha, 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 she forgot something. Kate forgot something in conversation." And Meghan said, "Oh, you have baby brain." And in a conversation when they were talking about their disagreements, the 4 of them, Kate, William, Harry, and Meghan, they said in conversation, quote, "We're not close enough." This is Kate talking to Meghan. Quote, "We're not close enough for you to talk about my hormones."
Oh, God.
No.
Also, happy birthday to Kate Middleton. Today is her birthday.
That's the thing. And that is very funny to me that this book and the interview, of all the days on the calendar,
Of all the days.
H picked.
And you know
her
what?
birthday.
You know what? An anonymous journalist who I won't name here, she pointed out that they also announced that they were stepping back from being royals, from their senior royal duties in 2020 on January 8th, which was close to the birthday as well. So anyway,
can I say something too real quick? I think part of Kate's issue with Meghan is she was so calculated in getting into this family and going to the same schools as William, doing all these things, and feels like I think it came too easy for Meghan, and she also came with the built-in, even though the support system came later, because no one really, no offense, knew who she was before she dated him or got married. She thinks that Meghan, that familiarity isn't earned.
Yeah.
I also think that there's a level of like, I don't know where I saw, I don't know if you're going to get into this, but like I saw online that one of the excerpts in the book says that Kate and William were avid Suits fans before Meghan joined the family.
Shut up.
They like, so when I'm going to butcher the quote, but basically when Harry told, like they squeezed it out of Harry that he was dating somebody and they were like, "Who is it?" He was like, "Oh, she's an American actress. She's on this show called Suits." They go, "Shut the F up. We love that show." Which makes this whole dynamic very strange.
Very weird.
Because they were her fans.
Yeah.
That is crazy to me. And the fact, the other thing that's very strange to me is that Harry doesn't think that any of this is cutting to his family. He thinks that all of
Which
this
means
is
there's
just,
worse things.
There's worse things that he could say.